What I want to talk to you tonight about, because of that, that is why sex is such serious business to God. Sex, we've learned, right, and spirituality always intersect at the place of worship. There's a high correlation and parallel between sex and spirituality. And what we've learned is you're either worshiping God and following Him, or you're getting, taking, exploiting, and lusting and really worshiping you. Open your notes, if you will, because what I want to show you here is that we've been in Ephesians 5. We started at verse 1, remember? Hey, love one another. How? The same way God's loved you. Sacrificially, caring, giving. How do you not love? Don't let any immorality even be hinted among you as God's people. It's unbecoming. Don't let greed or immorality or any of these things, coarse jesting, coarse talk. Not you. Why? You're children of light. You used to be darkness, but now you're light. Walk in the light. Now we pick it up in verse 11, and he gives us another command. And do not participate in the unfruitful deeds of darkness, but instead even expose them. This is that word participate, associate, get connected with, in mind, thought, or word, deed, anyway. He says, don't participate in that old life. And this is a sexual context in the passage. But even expose them. Very interesting word. Circle that if you have your pen. The word means to shed light on. It means to convict, to reproof. To expose would be to help someone see things as they really are. So the command is, don't participate in unfruitful deeds of darkness, the sexual ones that have been mentioned, but instead even expose them. And then he goes on to say, why? The reason. For it is disgraceful, literally, it's shameful even to speak of these things which are done by them in secret. He says to you believers in Ephesians who are living in this sex-saturated world and all these prostitutes, male and female, hetero and homosexual, and all this weird and warped stuff going on, he says, you are now children of the light. Don't participate, even expose them. It's disgraceful. Don't even talk about what goes on in those temples. Don't even talk about your past experiences. You've got enough curiosity in your mind. Don't even go there. But, you know, it's kind of interesting. He says, sexual immorality so violates God's holy character and His positive intent for His creation, I don't want you to even talk about it. But I got a problem with this passage. How in the world are we going to expose the evil in the world and the sexual immorality and the perversion if you're not even supposed to talk about it? Notice how the text goes on. He's going to explain. It's pretty cool. The explanation, but all things become visible when they're exposed, same word, by the light. And then he gives us a principle. For everything that becomes visible is light. Well, what he's saying is the light has power. Your life, as you are an individual man or woman, as a married couple, when you live a sexually pure life in what you say, in how you think, in how you live, in how you control your body, in what you watch, in what you laugh at, and what you don't laugh at, in what you value, in how you dress, and when you have authentic, loving relationships with the opposite sex, if you're married or with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or with friends in general, when you live in this winsome, walking in the children of the light way, you are like light, and that light has power. It exposes the darkness. You know, no one got down on me, but I was sitting at that table thinking about how I think about relationships, and the light of this couple was going, and I was going, man alive, I'm not even close to this. And my desire to want to do it God's way wasn't someone yelling and pointing and speaking. By the way, how loud is light? It's not a trick question. How loud is light? It's silent, isn't it? He says, it is not what you say. It's not all your talk. It's your life. You know, in the physical world, light has tremendous power. You can take a petri dish with certain kinds of bacteria, and it can grow in darkness. And the moment you take that petri dish out, right, and stick it in sunlight, what happens? What happens? Immediately. The bacteria dies in the presence of light. And the same thing is true spiritually. When your life is light, not down on people, not preachy at people, not being a know-it-all, not being self-righteous, not being holier than thou, when you love authentically and live sexually pure lives, your life will radiate. But you know why? You're going to be the big exception, aren't you? I mean, you're going to be the exception in the world. I got news for you. You're going to be the big exception among Christians.